Yes, good evening. So today we'll discuss GS paper 2. We'll have two sessions for paper 2, today and tomorrow. We'll try to discuss 10 questions today. Mostly by 6 we'll try to finish. Another live session we have to start. Every day we are. So it requires question also. In many videos have you seen? But we spent more time because uh, see, many of you are not equally, like all are in the starting phase of preparation and senior aspirants also coming, right? They have some added advantage in knowing the content. But I cannot neglect you and concentrate on them. Is it fine? That is the reason we are spending more time. So understand that. But the idea is either it be senior aspirants or freshers, for everyone this session is going to be useful. Although we are coming with recorded live sessions in our channel, you can watch that also. Is it fine? But the idea of this class is that you should know the basic demand of UPSC mains answer writing with respect to various papers. Paper 1 cannot be addressed in the manner like paper 4. Is it or not? Have you observed it? There are a lot of, even within paper 4 only, the structure, even for case studies, we cannot come out with a singular structure. Is it or not? Sometimes the question is demanding you to come out with a different approach. Other times you can come out with your standard approach, that is subject matter. And then what are the other things? Huh? Stakeholders, then so the options, then analyze the option, then choosing the option. That is the actual right approach for any case studies which you are going to write. See, in UPSC mains exam, what the examiner is going to test you in all your paper is not just the not just your knowledge or content only. He will also see how much you are organized while writing your answer. Are you understanding? Are you understanding? Because you are writing for an IAS examination. What is the quality of an administrator? You should be organized. You should be decision making should be to the point. And second, they should have some common sense to understand the problem which is coming to them. If you can't understand the 2 lines, 3 lines question, which is given in the examination, how can we understand the different complex socio-economic problem in society? Are you getting it? That is the demand that they will test you indirectly. So what you should do is, whenever we read question, even today in GS paper 2, see compared to paper 1, paper 3, paper 4, now we have completed the discussion. Paper 1 and paper 3, you would have observed more questions are from current affairs. Have you observed? Yes, at least the inspirations came. And in paper 1 this time, there was a change in approach. Compared to other papers, drastic change we observed in paper 1. Because there was an integration of, not just topic, integration of subjects happen, interlinking of subjects. But paper 3 today, we will try to sort out most of the questions you will be covering up in your, when you go through the polity classes, you will be in a situation to answer some of the question. Then why sir, why not all means? There are questions here also paper 2, especially in paper 2, do you have the syllabus with you? We have in paper 2, what are the various subjects we have? First is your basic constitution, parliament you will be studying. That is NCERTs will give you basic approach. Have you read that 6th standard to 12th standard social and political life for NCERTs and polity? Have not started? Kindly start it. That is the best book. And among the books which are given for NCERT for polity, the Constitution at Work is one of the best book. Like in case of economics, we have told, right? Remember, see, most of the questions from GS paper 3, we have whatever we have covered, at least like from the economics NCERT classes and part of the economic mains class what we covered, how many questions came? Reflections were there? Yes? See, the idea here is you need to include current affairs also in your preparation. Not just the NCERT books will suffix. But still, why we are asking you to read the NCERTs first is, I will show you today directly how many questions have reflections or inspirations from NCERT. Only 10 questions out of the 10 questions which we are going to discuss. I will point out the questions. You can go and refer in your home. Are you getting it? Yes, but the idea is kindly don't miss reading NCERT. Many of the people live or prepare in a illusion in UPSC that reading Lakshmi Gandhi is enough. I don't agree with those aspirants. If you read Lakshmikant or not, it does not matter. But what you should not miss mandatorily is the basic NCERTs. Lot of times UPSC has picked directly from your polity NCERTs, especially that 11th standard polity. Indian Constitution at work is almost 50% of your Lakshmikant book itself. Have you seen the book? One of the simplest, nobody can write a better book than that in the country. In such a beautiful manner, like the Indian Economics 11th standard book is there, no? Again, nobody can write a better book than that. Let it be any standard textbook also, no book can stand in competition with the simple school book which was written. That is the reason we are having more reflections from our classes. We have to be faithful to the authors who have written the book. Is it or not? Yes, well, starting those NCERT classes only we have told the importance of NCERT books. So kindly give your focus. Now let's go into the first question. So first question. Yes, so first is, so I will try to give you, don't worry, I will try to introduce the concepts, then we will go into the content so that you can also be aware of what we are discussing. Yes, those who have completed the syllabus, they will be in a position to answer, and even you can answer. Yes, so first question, constitutionally guaranteed judicial independence is a prerequisite of democracy. Yes, so what they are asking you to do, comment. So comment means what is the basic things we have to follow? Comment means you have three approaches. Remember, forget it. After going to paper 4, you forget it, paper 1 and 3 discussion. So comment, see, the most important quality which you should reflect in your answers. Why we are conducting these sessions? Yes, the exams are over. Still, why we should discuss PYQs now? The reason is because many of the candidates who have written mains this year and who have been writing for long, who are preparing senior aspirants also, the common mistake what we have been seeing in most of their answers is they never give importance to the directive which is given in the question. Give some minimum respect. Are you getting it? How much time will it take? Common means what? You have three flexible approaches. Always the common questions are bit very easy to answer. Even either you know the concept or not. If they ask you to common means it's your own personal opinion they are asking you. Are you getting it? Yes. So comments, what you can do? Tell me. You can either, you can support it, you can take a stand against it, or you can come out with a balanced approach, saying that both of them exist at some proportion. So some works at major level, some works at minor level. So when you do a balanced approach, when you can do one thing, when you lack some points to write in the question, I advise you to go with balanced approach, because you will have some 3 points to support the answer, some 3 points to take a stand against the stand which is as. So you end up writing more points, and you can fetch more marks in the exam. Is it fine? Yes, shall we go over? Now, what is the question? Constitutionally guaranteed. So keyword is judicial independence is prerequisite. What is the meaning of prerequisite? Something like mandatory. Yes, that is some mandatory requirement. What they are saying, for a democracy which is mandatory, they are saying a conditional thing. What they are saying, constitutional, see, judicial independence is present. Many countries say that they in their country judiciary is functioning independent, but saying is different. But that same thing, if you are guaranteeing in the constitution, nobody can misuse the power. That is the main objective, that you guarantee judicial independence. What is judicial independence first of all? So you have 3 organs of government, remember? So evening batch students might not, for you polity classes some over, no? 20-30% over, right? So evening batch students, NCERT classes also not started. So I will in obligation to tell them few points. Yes, let's spend some time. See, there are 3 organs of government. What are they? We have legislature. Yes, that is parliament, which consists of president, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. Kindly remember. 1 year UPSC prelims, they asked the parliament consists of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, president, all the above. Many of them what they did, one more option was there. That is both some statement wise they have given. What they did, many students after seeing Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, they marked it. Forgetting president is also part of the parliament. Understand? Here the idea is you should have some understanding also in polity. But most of the contents in polity, requires you to memorize most of the articles, Supreme Court judgments, but that does not mean understanding is not there. Even here understanding is there. Yes, so among the three organs, what are the organs? So the organs of government, executive, judiciary. Legislature, executive, judiciary. Yes. Now, in this, what they are saying is judicial independence is of primary importance. Why? Suppose if this organization, if this organ of government is not independent, what will happen? Legislature or executive, they can interfere in the functions of judiciary. Are you getting it? So that will affect an important concept we have in polity, which is called as separation of powers. Kindly write it. What do you mean by separation of powers is, see, in India, there is a big difference between, that is in case of India, how the organs of government are separated and how the organs of government are separated in USA. When we go for USA, they have a very strict separation of power. Kindly write it. This is one basic difference between the functioning of US government versus India. In case of USA, they follow something called as strict separation of power. What does the meaning is? Very simple. Legislature will not enter executive domain. Executive will not enter judiciary domain. Judiciary also will not too much enter into other areas. So everybody is given independent area to function and they will not enter into other area. Is it clear? So this separation is guaranteed where? In USA. But when you come to India, we don't have a strict separation of power. Kindly understand. Here in India, judiciary will sometimes interfere in the functioning of parliament, saying that some of the laws which are created by parliament can be unconstitutional. Do you know that? Yes? Unconstitutional means what? We have a written constitution in India. So you cannot create any laws in the country which is against the provisions of the constitution. And we have always Supreme Court to take care that these laws, rules which are created in the country does not comes in conflict with which one? With the constitution. So that work is generally done by especially judiciary through its function called as judicial review. Are you getting it? What do you mean by judicial review? Court reconsidering the laws which are passed by the parliament as constitutional or not. That is done through judicial review function. Usually the courts, Supreme Court will deal with that. Yes? So now going, so you have some understanding, you got it? Yes? How? Yes? Hmm. Yes. Executives means all, it includes bureaucrats, all the people who are executing the government policy decisions. It includes Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers and the various bureaucrats. Everybody, they execute the, which one? The rules, they execute the functions of the government. Who Yes, that's why we say that in India we don't have a strict separation of power. Some of the members of legislature are actually members of executive. And executive is also interfering in some of the judicial activities also. I will tell you, we have tried to do that in the past through creating a body called as NJAC, which became a very big controversy. You will study in polity. That is called as National Judicial Appointments Commission. What is the meaning is, like we have UPSC, right, which is recruiting IAS, IPS officer. Same manner, we have, government has created a bill. That is through parliament they have created that in the past. Say that is National Judicial Appointment Commission. Through that they wanted to select the judges of the country. Now till now the practice in India is one of the only few countries in the world where actually judges are appointed by judges themselves. Are you aware of this? So executive don't appoint them. Executive participate in the process. I will tell that. But if you see here, in case of India, till now the practice is judges are appointed by judges only. They follow a practice called as collegium system. Collegium system. Collegium system means it is a group of judges in the Supreme Court, and sometimes they will take the help from High Court also. So while appointing Supreme Court judges, the Chief Justice will consult two more senior most judges of Supreme Court. Are you getting it what I am saying? The Chief Justice of Supreme Court, while appointing any member, see somebody they wanted to appoint as judge of Supreme Court, means how they will do means Supreme Court Chief Justice will sit with two senior most judges of Supreme Court, and they will take their consultation, and based on that they will choose a judge. Are you getting it? Then the person who is selected, that name will be suggested or forwarded to the Home Ministry, who will go through the background check, any intelligence check related to that, any criminal record is there, any problem is there, they will verify all the records, and then finally it will be forwarded to the president, who gives the consent for that. Are you getting it? That is the reason this system of judges appointing the judges is referred as collegium system. Clear? Yes, this is a practice. Now the question here is not about all these things. The question here is they are asking you, constitutionally guaranteed judicial independence is necessary for democracy. So if you are guaranteeing this judicial independence where in your constitution itself, then that is only considered to be which one? A mandatory for ensuring democracy. What is first of all democracy? There is a most beautiful chapter which has been written in NCERT. Kindly read that. I think 7th or 8th standard book talks about multiple dimensions of democracy. Kindly read that. You cannot get those kind of concepts, even the meaning of government, organs of government, why do we require government, why do we require constitution, these doubts whatever you have in your mind, all the contents are given in your NCERTs only. Kindly read it. If you read that only, you will develop more common sense. Common sense is not that you become instant in exam hall and something happens, eureka moment inside exam hall. Don't expect that. It won't happen. Provided if you have some kind of sound preparation and understanding, that only will make you to develop your common sense. Is it clear? Now, now coming into this question, now constitutionally, see again here, you don't need to agree what they say. You can also dispute that. Is it clear? Why? Because the question is comment. So you can say it is not that constitutionally guaranteed only is necessary for democracy. It is a prerequisite for democracy. We don't need to mention that in constitution also, and you can like come up with your own points. Are you getting it what I am saying? But here I have more content to write supporting this statement, because I have read so many things which we have studied, which you will be studying in your judiciary chapter. Are you getting it? So now, first while writing the introduction, what can be the introduction for this? See, in case of polity GS paper 2, kindly write it. There is a few changes you need to do when it comes to answer writing. Changes are value additions. So apart from coming out with the normal way of introduction, body and conclusion in your answer, most of the times your introduction or the body of the answer should contain as many articles in the constitution. That should always be mentioned. This is one condition you should follow. If you really want to get more marks in polity, means the necessary few things which you can do to get more marks than others is try to mention more articles in your answers. That is related article. Don't write everything what you studied. Related to, in this question, judiciary. Related to judiciary, you can mention some articles either in introduction or body of answer. But try to include more articles in your answer. Number one, try to include that is more Supreme Court judgments, and then try to include more laws. That is what topic they are asking related to that parliamentary law is there. Talk about it clearly. Here it should be different from other papers, because since it's a polity paper, they will expect you to write the sections or provisions of the law to be very clear. Are you getting it? It's not just mentioning the law and moving on. Like we did yesterday in ethics, remember? Just protection of sexual harassment. We have not traveled because that is not required there. Idea is what you are going to use to protect women. Yes, so in workplace you can use that law. That's what we have suggested. But when you write here, you need to come up with the year while mentioning the scheme or law. Then what you can do, you can also include government schemes. And then the most important thing, ARC report. Kindly write it. This is what is very, very important. That is Administrative Reforms Commission report. That report will be available online only. Many people, many toppers have actually compiled the administrative report. If you want to read the original, you can also read, but it's bulky. What I will advise is go through the compilations. There are various chapters. In that, just try to write some 5 to 10 points from each chapter and try to include that related to the question asked in the exam. Mention that according to ARC report. Are you getting it what I am saying? You should mention that. Otherwise, they will not give you extra mark. They might not be aware also. Are you getting what I am saying? So try to do all this. These are the things you should do additionally when it comes to GS paper 2. And one more component we have in GS paper 2, international relations. The answer writing approach will be different, which we will discuss tomorrow. Are you getting it? For all the polity and social justice component, social justice when you write, try to include more governance, that is government schemes. When you go to governance, try to include more flow charts. See here, drawing diagram is going to be very difficult. Is it or not? Do you agree? In polity, drawing a diagram is difficult. So what I will advise you is try to bring in more flow charts in your answer. Flow charts are other pictorial representation. Other ways of pictorial. See, international relations you can draw plenty of diagram. Governance you can use more pictographical flowchart based diagrams. And then coming to basic chapters on polity, that is constitution and polity, which you will be studying. There you need to come out with your own innovation. So what I will advise is wherever you cannot draw diagram, try to include as many examples in your answer. If you are not able to find diagrams means, I would advise you to come out with relevant example from current affairs or related to the topic asked. Is it fine? Now let's go into this question. Now what can be the introduction for this question? You can talk about the importance of judicial, which one? Yes ma'am? Maika? Yes ma'am. Yes. So we will discuss about, in introduction, what is very important here? Judicial independence. Yes? So that is what they are asking now. That is a key word in the question. So explain the meaning of judicial independence in the introduction. That is, come up with the theory of separation of power. Yes? So in case of India, that is, judicial independence is guaranteed in the constitution itself. How? Because we have created a separate chapter for how the judges should be appointed, how they should function. So it has been clearly mentioned in the constitution, and even constitution itself says that in case of any disputes which is happening between which one, while interpreting the constitution itself or the laws of the country, it is the judiciary which has the final say. Are you getting it? So in case of India, judicial independence is guaranteed in the constitution itself. Now coming after writing this, that is, after writing the basic meaning of judicial independence, you should also write, I always say whenever you write introduction, I advise you to come out with which component. There are three things I said. Remember, what component, when component, why component. Now when component cannot be more relevant here, so come up with another paragraph. Before starting the body of the answer, I will advise you to come up with, that is, to talk about why we require, that is why we require which one? Judicial independence. What is the importance of judicial independence, or how it is practiced in India? Are you getting it? Are you getting some idea? Generally we come out with introduction, body, conclusion. But here, since you have started the introduction, we need to travel into the crux of the question. For that you need a transition towards protecting which one? That is how it is essential for democracy. You know what is democracy? What is democracy? Democracy means what? Government of the people, by the people, for the people. Yes? So it actually, that itself is conveying so many meaning. So democracy involves respecting the decisions of the people. It involves sharing the power. Yes? And then what are the other things? People, government is elected by the people through elections. Yes, so you know what is the meaning of democracy. No need to explain. Now, for proper functioning of democracy means respecting the multiple opinions and decisions of the people. For that, what is required? We require judicial independence. So, why we require judicial independence? Because just write some 3 points, 2 or 3 points. After that, let's go into directly the, which one? The body of the answer. Now, what you can say? The judiciary is essential in India. Mainly, what are the things I already said? A concept called as separation of powers. Right? So, why we require judicial independence? Because it ensures separation of powers. Otherwise, what will happen? Everybody will penetrate into others' domain and it will become a big problem and tussle. where these organs of government will fight among themselves. So we require some kind of independence, so that will ensure the separation of powers. Yes, first important function. Second, why it is important, judicial independence? So checks and balances. Checks and balances. What is the meaning of checks and balances? Checks and balances of whom? Of the executive. Whatever laws which are passed by the whom? Parliament, and executive who is actually also coming out with various rules. It is the judiciary which will make sure the laws which are created in the country are abiding, are in line with the provisions of constitution. If it is not coming in line with provisions of constitution or against the constitution, it can be declared null and void. That is unconstitutional, that's all. It is invalid if it is against our constitution. Are you getting it what I am saying? So judicial independence is important. Suppose judiciary is not independent, what will happen? The executive will influence, say we only passed the bill, you say yes to that. So there can be a collision between organs of government that will not be good for any democracy. Because why it is again important also to protect the two things. One is fundamental rights of citizens, also to protect the minority rights. So it is for all this. So introduction you can include this. If you could come out with a very good introduction in 2 to 3 lines maximum, along with these points, it's well and good. Otherwise, come up with the next paragraph to explain the importance of judicial independence, the why component. Because introduction should always contain what component? When component? Why component. Most of the students, they won't address the why component properly in the question. That is what the UPSC examiner will look for. That is your logical reasoning to explain the answer. That is what they will search. They will not look for all whatever articles you have read in your book and how much you are vomiting in the question answer paper. That is not important here. How much you are relevantly addressing. Now come to the main body of the answer. Now what is the most important body of the answer? Subheading what it is? So constitutionally guaranteed judicial independence is prerequisite for democracy. Now you say that why judicial independence? So why judicial independence is prerequisite of democracy. So prerequisite of democracy. Put this as subheading. Our reasons for judicial independence is prerequisite for democracy. Here what I am doing, I am supporting the stand. Because I have more points to write. So I will go with this opinion. Clear? Are you getting it? You have the liberty to criticize also. I have taken a stand supporting the statement which is given here. Comment means you have 3 options. Kindly remember. Yes. Now what are the things which are ensured in the constitution which is making the judiciary independent so that democracy is functioning effectively in India? That's all. As simple as that. It's a question on your basic judiciary chapter. Are you getting it? I have decoded the question in simple term. Now I will tell you the basic concept, then we will generate the points. See, in case of India, as I said before, how the judges are appointed in India? Yes? So, collegium system. Judges are appointed through collegium system, and also we have in India a judicial setup where there is a concept of which one? Separation of powers. So, first concept you talk about separation of powers. So this is actually ensured in Article 50. Article 50. You will be studying in which chapter it is? DPSP. DPSP. Article 50 it talks about the separation between 3 organs of government. What are they? Legislature, executive, judiciary. Are you getting it? That's what we have written now. They need to be separated. That is mentioned in the constitution in DPSP's chapter. So what here they are asking you is, what are the constitutional guarantee we have, constitutional provisions we have, which is making judiciary independent. So talk about those constitutional articles here. Are you getting it? Next what you can do is, that is appointment of judges. Appointment of judges is, judges are appointed through which one? Collegium system. So that is also, and one more thing is, once the judges are appointed in India, they can be removed. They can be removed only through parliament under special majority. Kindly understand that. And that too for 2 reasons which are mentioned in the constitution. That is, removal can be only on 2 grounds. One is What are they? They have not covered or not? Huh? Constitutional. How the judges are removed, I am asking you. Huh? That is impeachment. We have a concept called as impeachment, where judges, what they do is they need to follow the provisions of constitution. If some of them, if they come into problem, they can be impeached. That impeachment process will usually, it will be done in where? In the parliament, that is at the legislature. They will execute the impeachment procedure. At that time, both the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, they have to pass with a special majority. That means what? 2/3 of the member of the house. You know what is the difference between simple special majority? You will be reading it in polity. Remember, special majority means 2/3 of the member present and voting, and that too they can be removed only on the basis of proved misbehavior or incapacity. Proved misbehavior or incapacity. So those are the two reasons based on which a judge can be removed. Otherwise, a judge who is appointed in India generally have security of tenure. Are you getting it what I am saying? Nobody can come and interfere in their functioning once they get appointed. So that ensures that judges can function independently in India, in Indian constitution itself. Is it clear? So talk about that, and that is mentioned in Article 124. 124. So that talks about appointment of judges to the Supreme Court. And Article 217, that will discuss about which one? High Court. High Court. You can mention any one. Don't need to write every articles. Content is important. Then, so you can also talk about what are the other things with respect to judges. So judges, once they get appointed, suppose tomorrow if somebody is interfering in the functions of judiciary, who are they? Who can interfere? Huh? Executive can interfere. Even press can interfere. Suppose Supreme Court is coming out with a, which one? A judgment. And in that judgment, you feel that the judgment is not proper, and press can criticize. Is it or not? Anybody can criticize about the judgment, but in constitution we have some safety mechanism for which one? Not only for appointing, so you write about removal of judges also. So removal of judges, how it is done? Through impeachment. So talk about that impeachment, that also is mentioned in the constitution. Impeachment process. Then we also have something called as contempt of court. Write it, very important. What do you mean by contempt of court? If somebody is trying to criticize the judgment of the Supreme Court, High Court, or trying to interfere in the functioning of the judiciary, they can be punishable by the Supreme Court, and that is also mentioned under Constitution under contempt of court. Why they are doing this? Because judges, while delivering a justice, they don't want to be interfered by anyone while providing the justice to the people. Second, there should be a logical, see, even sometimes you can criticize, but the criticism should be logical and meaningful. You cannot criticize something illogically. If you are doing that, then the Supreme Court can punish you under which one? Contempt of court. So by this provision in India, that is, the judiciary is given some independent role while delivering the justice to the people. Are you getting it? Yes? Now what are the other things which judges have, which you have studied? Appointment of judicial services. Okay, then. So that is what judges will be appointed by judges themselves. Through that method, they ensure, and even while protecting various, that is, provisions of constitution, then. Uh, uh, So they that is judicial, those who are working in the subordinate level in the courts, their administration. So that administration, maintenance, everything will be taken care by whom? It will be done by the judges themselves. So that, see, even here one more thing you write, salary. Salary also, see, once a judge is appointed means where their salaries are credited in their account from the consolidated fund of India. Kindly write it. You'll be studying again consolidated fund, contingency fund. Don't ask me now. Then this will not be a discussion class and it will become a polity class. I don't want to go that much deeper. Your polity teacher will do that. But try to understand the basics. Now, see, once a judge is appointed, his salaries cannot be reduced to his disadvantage. Since because he is not favoring you to the government or legislature or executive, the government of India, let it be executive or legislature, they cannot, which one? They cannot reduce the salaries of judges. That is the reason we are directly crediting their salary from Consolidated Fund of India. So they don't need to be responsible for anyone. If they are getting it from executive means executive will lock the salary. You deliver this judgment like how we want, then only we will release the salary. Can it happen? But that practice cannot be done in India because their salaries, tenure, appointment, removal, functioning, everything is constitutionally guaranteed as well as protected. That is the reason in case of India, the Supreme Courts as well as the High Courts, they have the constitutional guarantee to function independently, which makes it for the better functioning of democracy, that is addressing the common man, his problems with respect to getting the justice, that will be done in a better manner by Supreme Courts when they are independent. Are you getting it? Can you write that as conclusion? Yes? Hmm. Hmm. Who will have final power? Hmm. Yes, yes, yes. That we have written here only, no. Protector of fundamental rights. Is it clear? Why we require judicial independence? Because of this. But how it is guaranteed in constitution? Through this. We have done two components, why component and how component. Generally that only will be asked in most of your mains question. What and when component will be in your introduction. When you write the body of the answer, the question nature will be asking you to write why and how only most of the situations. Where component will be asked mostly in geography question. You include more examples from geographical futures. That is why whenever you read a topic, there are only 5 things you need to prepare. Let it be any subject, any optional also. What are that? What component, when component, why component, where component, how component. This is enough. Are you getting it? If you read on this, if you have the answers for these 5 questions for any topic, you can write, you can clear prelims, mains and interview with ease. Only problem is we never ask questions to ourselves also, and even when somebody explains, we never listen to that completely also. So when we have problem here, we'll have problem in answer writing. Clear? So you understand how we can do. And one more thing I will tell you additionally, even with respect to conduct of judges. What do you mean by conduct of judges? See, how a judge is functioning. See, you can, even if there is any problem with respect to conduct of judges, that cannot be openly criticized in media. Only the discussions can happen only in parliament, and that too when it can happen means when you are passing a bill for removal of that judge, that is impeachment process. Only that time a parliament can discuss about the conduct. What is the conduct? Is character. See, in the past what happened is there was a High Court judge in Kolkata High Court. What happened is he had some girl has actually filed, a woman has filed a sexual harassment case against this High Court judge of Kolkata. And Supreme Court they actually asked this person to go on resignation, but he did not do that. And later they tried to remove him through impeachment process in parliament, but that did not happen. But when passing the bill in parliament, no, you can discuss the character of the person during that time, but not before that. Is it clear? So why we are doing that, why we are giving that protection means because we don't want any outsiders to influence the functioning of judiciary. Because judiciary is an independent organization. Only when it is independent, the common man's basic rights on equality, fundamental rights and other, minority rights can be guaranteed in a better manner. Are you getting this? Yes? Let's move to the second one. Shall we move to the second one? Who are entitled to receive free legal aid? Assess the role of National Legal Services Authority in rendering free legal aid in India. Again, see, all the first 10 questions which we are discussing today, all are 10 marker question. If you could generate at least 5 points, no, 5 to 7 points, then you will be having a scope to get at least 5 marks in exam out of 10 marker. Getting that extra 1 mark is always going to be challenging unless and until you have very good answer writing skill. Yes, but 5 mark, up to 5 mark you can easily get. Now this question again is picked directly from your where NCERTs. Yes, how many of you have covered NCERTs polity? Oh, one, huh? Why? We never understand the importance of NCERTs. We never understand the importance of newspapers in UPSC preparation. We all want ready-made solution. Is it or not? Sir, is there any shortcut for current affairs, sir? One page you can give one day's newspaper, sir. I will refer that, sir. And NCERT, sir, reading NCERTs and all school kids will read, sir. Why should we read? This is the attitude among aspirants in the country. See, but if you see the approach of toppers, even who have studied under us and who have cleared through our interactions various times, what we have understood is many of them have the basic approach of reading NCERTs and newspapers every day thoroughly. And our students, most of the time, what is the issue? Current affairs class, we are not giving attention. Are you getting what I am saying? Current affairs is the most important, crucial component which provides linkage to your statics. Are you getting it? In NCERT, you will be getting some basic idea about NALSA. That is National Legal Service Authority. It's also available in your 11th standard. That is which one? Indian Constitution at Orca. You can get it, some content over there. And even 6th standard to 10th standard polity also discusses about this. But not in much detail. So UPSC, what they have asked, they asked some detail. That's all. Shall we answer this? Yes. So what they are asking, two components are there in the question. What are they? Is there two components? One is who are entitled to free legal aid. That is the first part of the question. Second part is they are asking you to assess the role of NALSA. So your answer should have two subheadings in your answer. Everyone agree? Yes, come on, tell me. Two subheading. So, persons entitled to receive free legal aid. Second part, role of NALSA in rendering and here see second part of the question is asking you to do what? Directive is what? Assess. Assess means what? You would have written assessment test in your college semesters. Remember what they do in while assessing your through the assessment test, what they get to know about you, how you are performing, whether you are reading correctly, whether whatever you have written is it correct or not, whether your understanding is good. These basic things will be evaluated. Same thing you have to evaluate this scheme. Which scheme? NALSA scheme. Whether this scheme has done any good thing or any bad thing. You need to talk about it from a judging role. You need to have some judgment. They are not asking you to just accept it. They are asking you what role it has played. Try to assess that. Most of the candidates, they will never answer what is asked in the question. They will write what they know about NALSA and they will finish the question. If they do that, they are not going to get anything above 3 or 4 marks in UPSC exam. Are you getting it? Only the candidates who address the question will clear the mains exam. Those who don't address it, they are never going to clear the UPSC mains exam. That is the reason many knowledgeable, most talented aspirants of the country and all, they are unable to or get stuck in the mains stage itself. Reason being, it's not the knowledge which matters here. Apart from knowledge, the common sense is required. Are you getting it? That is understanding the question and writing only what is asked in the question. Now going into this free legal aid, in our constitution, we have article 39A. So in introduction only, kindly write about this. Article 39A. So this is actually providing free legal aid to the Indian citizens. So how it is ensured? It is ensured through article 39A. So we wanted to, why we are providing this? You say that because we wanted to help the disadvantaged, vulnerable sections of the country who may not have the economic resources to arrange a lawyer when defending a case. To help them, government has created a organization called as, that is, government has created a concept called as free legal aid through Article 39A. 39A means it comes under which one? DPSP, remember? That is 36 to 45 is DPSP. 36 to, not 36 to 45. 51, 36 to 51, right? Many of you are, for some of you who have not started polity classes, don't worry. It might look Greek Latin for some time, but it's very easy subject. Only thing is we try to complicate. Polity itself is, it's a very basic, simple thing which you have studied in your 10th standard. Civics, you remember, President, Prime Minister, Parliament, every one of us study. Then why you get afraid for polity classes? Polity is a very simple subject. See, try to treat the subject simply in a good manner. You can understand it. If you think the subject is tough, you cannot change that opinion. Yes. Now coming here, first part of the question is, who are actually getting free legal aid? Means, see, you just understand, use your common sense. Who can government give free legal aid? Can we give free legal aid to Ambani's, Adani's? Huh? Obviously, they are going to give only for vulnerable sections. So, right, talk about them. So, the persons who can get free legal aid, SC, ST communities, disabled persons, then industrial workers, then who are the other persons? Persons who are affected by human trafficking, and we'll come to that. Rural also. Those who are located in rural, remote areas, who are in disadvantaged community. And then we also give SCSTs, disabled, industrial, any other thing? Free legal aid. Think and tell. You have the, who are the marginalized sections? Vulnerable sections, disabled people, SCST people, below poverty people, LGBT, LGBT. Yes, you can include if they come under the category, that is, they are also vulnerable, disadvantaged. They can make use of it. Then persons who are human, woman, yes, very good. Woman, also we also provide it to children, women and children, and we also extend it to persons who are getting salaries, that is annual income which is less than 1 lakh for High Court and other cases. If it is Supreme Court cases, their annual income should be less than 5 lakh. So based on annual income category, we have two categories. One is less than 1 lakh category, another is less than 5 lakh category. So High Court cases will be done up to 1 lakh, that will be provided free legal aid. Up to, that is, annual income should be less than 1 lakh. Then only they will provide a lawyer to defend them in High Court cases. Supreme Court cases, their annual income should be less than 5 lakhs. So mostly we are talking or concerned about disadvantaged sections, and even we also include persons who are affected by disasters and even marginalized sections, vulnerable sections. Write about all of them. Are you getting it? Try to generate more points. Who are vulnerable sections, starting from women, children, disabled, industrial workers, persons affected by, that is, remote unconnected areas in the villages, women, children, human trafficking, disasters, who are affected by disasters. It can be natural or man-made, any type of disasters. Yes, so these are the people government is guaranteeing them which one? Free legal aid. Are you getting it? Everybody is understanding, huh? I know very well that some of you might be hearing this NALSA for the first time, but it's fine. Just understand the concept. Are you understanding? Yes? That's fine. Now going into the second one. Now they are asking you to talk about or to assess the role which is done by NALSA. Yes? Now while assessing the role, what are the roles NALSA is doing? Now NALSA, some basic component which you can write is, NALSA is an organization which is created in 1980, which year? 86 or 87? It's created in 1987, NALSA. It actually came into existence after some years only, around 1995. So this National Legal Service Authority. Here the main idea, what kind of role they generally provide means, first role, they provide awareness about legal issues, where it will provide, especially this awareness will be done in remote, unconnected, rural areas. This is one role it is doing. Second role what it is doing is, what is another role? It is also trying to work like a people's court. People's court. Functioning of people's court. That is, see, there are some cases where people will come for fighting matrimonial cases, property issues, and that time they will demand a free legal aid. That time what NALSA will say is, it is not a criminal offense, it's a civil offense. So what you can do is, there is another organization called as Lok Adalat. So here what we try to do is, we will try to settle the cases in a bit, which one? Through other ways of mediation, and we try to solve them in a peaceful manner. Compared to the conventional notions of justice, we will refer it to the Lok Adalat. So wherever it is possible, that is referred as people's court. So we will try to settle the disputes. Then what are the other things NALSA is doing? What do you think? That is helping the people who require which one? Legal services. That is the most important thing. That is legal aid services. So these are the three primary roles which is done by which one? NALSA. Now they are asking you to comment on, that is to assess this. Now tell me, what is the role which is done by NALSA in creating awareness? Do you think the awareness is satisfactory? It needs to be improved. So the role of NALSA when it comes to which one? Promoting awareness about the functioning of NALSA and how people can take legal aid, no, that needs to be improved. So the role here is, it is having a, what role you can say? Unsatisfactory role. Say that. So you can say it is unsatisfactory. Still it needs to be improved. It is not to the satisfaction level. But when it comes to referring the cases, we are able to do. You can say this is in a somewhat better manner, somewhat satisfactory, not completely satisfactory, partially satisfactory role, you say. Partially, which one? People's court. That is trying to solve the cases amicably, not creating it into a big issue, especially cases like civil cases, which can be handled in a smooth manner. Yes, so here you can say partially satisfactory. Again, here also you can say it is partially satisfactory. Why? Providing legal aid services, the problem here is, see, the coverage of providing legal services in uncovered rural areas or backward areas, tribal areas is still questionable. Are you getting it? Because it has not reached the all the remote sections of India where SC/ST people are living, who can have the awareness that they should contact which one? This free legal aid. Most of the times they are forced to take the lawyer whom they are paying the money. They are unaware of this thing. So awareness needs to be improved. Then legal aid services also, which is provided by the government, it's still far from satisfactory role. Are you getting it what I am saying? Everyone? Yes? Very simple answer. It is available in your up to 10 standard book only. But thing is, you need to talk about the role. It's not about whether you talk about the functions of NALSA that everyone will write. But you should talk about whether it's a positive role, negative role, minimum role, maximum role, no role, neutral role. Are you getting it? Or satisfactory, unsatisfactory, like he said. Try to give your opinion very clearly, because they are asking you to assess it. When they are asking you to assess it, you have every right to assess that. Fine. Moving into the next question. The states in India seems to be reluctant to empower urban local bodies. Two things they are saying. What are they? That is functionally as well as financially. Again comment. See here. That's why I say these questions are very easy questions. But there are some questions which are tricky. Why I say easy means, whenever they give you a statement comment, don't bother. Examiner is giving you, is helping you actually indirectly. Because even you know about the concept or you don't know about the concept also you comment. You can comment or not. Yes, people in social media most of the time do that only. They don't know what is happening. They will not. Some issue came now recently, Sanatana Dharma, which become controversy. Nobody knows what is Sanatana Dharma, but people gave multiple interpretations. Every state one interpretation, and it has become a national issue. And lot of Hindu people, they have flooded the social media criticizing the person who has spoken against Sanatana Dharma. But if you look into his speech, there is a reasoning why he said, and he also came out with explanation. But nobody wants to listen that. Are you getting it? The problem with most of us is we don't want to, understand the issue properly. But even when you understand or not, you can comment. Is it or not? So that liberty examiner is giving you first 3 questions, second time they are using comment. So easy question. And again it is about which one? Urban local bodies means what? Huh? Now, how you can write the introduction for this about urban local bodies? In introduction, tell me. Very easy. Huh? 74th, very good. Remember yesterday also I said no. No, women's issue where we took current affairs class we took, no? Okay. So urban local bodies means which one? It is guaranteed under the constitution, under which constitutional amendment? 74th Constitutional Amendment Act 1992. It only created the urban local bodies in the country. Initially in the constitution, panchayats or municipal bodies are not created. Only in 1992, through constitutional amendment, we gave constitutional status for the third tier of government. You say that this is the third tier. What is the first tier? First tier you have central government. Second tier you have state government. This is the third level of governance which we have created in the year 1992. Are you getting it? It is also referred as vertical sharing of power. Later in polity we will study more deeply. But now introduction this much is enough. Are you getting it? Now you have included some constitutional amendment. You can be sure examiner has to give 1 mark for your introduction. He has no other go. Are you getting it? So write your answers in such manner. Now coming to the subheading for this question. What can be a subheading? States in India seem reluctant to empower urban local bodies. One is why the reluctance to empower urban body. One is functionally you put. I am not going to write full heading. I will write it like a flow chart, that is urban local bodies. So here the main theme of the question is about 2 things. What are they? One is asking you to talk about functionality, functionally and financially. Yes? Is it clear? Now tell me the meaning. Functionally means what? How they day-to-day function they are doing. Financially, how they are performing. Who? Urban local bodies. Are you getting it? Easy question. Huh? Do you need anything for this? Any PhD content? Do you need 100 Lakshmikant to read for this kind of easy question? You have 6th standard book, you know, social and political life. Starting for 6th standard book only discusses about panchayat and municipal bodies, I think. So kindly go and read it. I don't want to again and again give stress to NCERT. The reason why I am telling repetitively is we know the importance. Are you getting it? Now coming here, see the question is very simple. The states in India seems reluctant. Reluctant means what? They are not willing to give or empower urban local bodies. So you can agree with this or you can disagree with this. Reason being the question is comment. I am going to agree with this also. Mostly I am going to agree. If there is any disagree, we will come to that later. Is it clear? Sometimes you can start writing and you can give your opinion just a paragraph before conclusion also. That is, it is creating what to say. You agree with it as well as you have disagreed with it. You can say your stand before conclusion or at the conclusion also. Clear? Sometimes you can say after the introduction only you can come out with your stand. It's up to you. Now coming here, see why the states are reluctant to give power. I will tell you the reasons. That is, first one, centralization of power. Write it. There are some reasons. Then we will discuss some more points. That is, why the state government is not giving power to panchayat, that is not panchayats here, urban local bodies. Why they are not giving? Because they wanted to accumulate the power. Are you getting it? That is the reason functionally they are not able to perform very well. Second, there is also problem of resource constraint. So then there is problem of financial dependency. Yes, so resource constraint is there, and then resource constraint and financial dependency are related to financial provisions. Why? Panchayats, they don't generate what to say revenue on their own. Only they have few provisions. What are they? That is, we have talked about a concept called as what is a tax which is levied? Economic class. Octroi, remember? Huh? Everything forgotten. 1 month only over, no? Economic class. At the, local tax is Octroi, entry tax. Yes, entry and exit. Evening batch we now discussed. Okay. Now coming here, so talk about that, and also one more thing is fiscal stress. So what are the major problems why the state government is not giving power as well as money to the urban local bodies is because they wanted to accumulate the power. Second, that is the first reason I said. Second, resource constraint. They themselves don't have resources plenty. If they are having so many financial resources, they can give to the urban local bodies. After the coming of GST and other things in India, most of the states are sitting in deficit condition. So it became a problem for them. And even in our constitution itself, we have not given so many powers to whom? Urban local bodies. They only have, see, based on your water usage, street lighting, yes, then sewerage. So for these basic functions, they can collect some taxes from the people. Are you getting it? User payment charge they can collect from the urban local bodies, can collect it from the people, but otherwise they don't have any big which one. They cannot generate a big money. Revenue generation is very poor, and always most of the times these that is urban local bodies are completely dependent upon whom? The state governments for their through what is the mechanism is we have grants. What do you mean by grants? That is which is given to the states without any expectation. No liability is there. So one time transfer it is. So most of the times urban local bodies are dependent upon the central and state government for the which one? Grants which is given. That is how they have become operating. And fiscal stress means what? We have studied in economics about fiscal policy. Remember what we have studied in fiscal policy? A concept of fiscal deficit, you remember, under FRBM Act. What is FRBM Act? Very important act I discussed in class. This was actually, initially it was created in 2003. Later an amendment has been done in 2013. As per this act, central and state governments are restricted to spend beyond a particular limit, especially the concept of fiscal deficit. Fiscal deficit should not exceed 3% of GDP. Due to this constraint also, many of the state governments, they cannot, they cannot transfer the money to which one? Panchayat, that is not Panchayat, urban local bodies. Is it clear? And coming here, one more thing. Now, those are some general points. Now, let's try to generate some other points also. That is, one more point why urban local bodies are actually having problem. Why states are not relevant to transfer to them means what is happening with respect to functionality. See, what they might think, if they give too much power means their power will be compromised. And they wanted to politically, they always want to politically influence the which one? Urban local bodies when it comes to transfer fund. When they transfer fund, no, what is happening is there is a, just write it, interest of special interest group. That is special interest groups. What do you mean by special interest group means? For example, suppose Karnataka state government is transferring some money to urban local body in Bengaluru. Let us imagine this condition, hypothetical condition. Now, see, already we are Karnataka state government only is sitting with less money. Is it or not? Now the fiscal condition is in dangerous condition because of various welfare scheme, electoral promises which has been given. Now, where comes the question that they will be transferring it to the urban local body? They themselves are not having excess money to sit. And even when they transfer money, what most of the urban local bodies are, what they are trying to do, state government is, see the project which they are, while doing urban local bodies, they need to develop road, street lightning, I said no, sewerage. For this you need to give the project to private sector, is it or not, the funds, so that private sector can implement the project. Now while they are taking the government scheme, that is while going for actioning, now what are these who are these people means, those are the people generally who are very close to state government. Are you getting it? So because of this also, most of the urban local bodies are not getting proper independence when it comes to their function as well as with respect to finance. Everyone is understanding, huh? Huh? So these 5 points if you write along with some examples, and if you could define what is the meaning of urban local body and why they are set up in your introduction, then you will be easily getting at least 5 to 5.5 marks for this question. But don't stay away from the question. Try to stay within the question and talk only about these two things. Don't deviate from any other thing. Are you getting it? If you deviate means the examiner will give you negative marks only. Yes, let's move to the next one. Fourth question, what they are asking, compare and contrast. Compare and contrast. See, what is the meaning of this? I always say that there is a difference between, this is similar to writing the similarities and differences. What do you mean by compare and contrast? Which means similarity as well as differences. Both can be written. So what they are asking with respect to comparing and contrasting, they are asking about two approaches. One is British and Indian approaches to parliamentary sovereignty. What is the meaning of sovereignty? Who is independent? The particular country is independent. Sovereign means state. Our country, India, is supreme. We are not actually dependent on any other country. India is considered to be a sovereign country. Remember preamble, we the people of India solemnly resolve to constitute India into a sovereign. That's the first word they use. What is the meaning? That we are independent and we are no more dependent on any other country for functioning, for day-to-day functioning. And one more thing is, what we mean by sovereignty is also, within India we have a supreme, who is the head of the state, and through that we will be able to execute the policies of the country. Are you getting it? So we are not dependent on anyone and we are independent in our functioning. That is the meaning of sovereignty. And here they are asking you to talk about parliamentary sovereignty. Is it clear? This is taken from GS, that is GS paper 2 syllabus, comparing, that is comparing the various, what is that syllabus component? Comparison of the various constitutions of the world. Yes, that component is always very important. Every year UPSC is asking, now in the last 2-3 years in mains, from this only one topic, every year question is coming. Kindly mark it as very important topic for mains. In prelims they are not going to talk you about, mostly outside countries they are not going to talk to you in polity. But when it comes to mains, you need to talk about, compare the Indian constitution and its futures with other countries of the world. But majorly we will not study all the 193 countries. We will be only discussing about major countries, USA, Britain, or Japan, or Russia. Is it clear? That much is enough. Now coming here, so what is the approach? So British and Indian approach to which one? That is approach to parliamentary sovereignty. I will write some core points. Yes, see, when it comes to Britain, the basic thing with respect to Britain and in India is, in case of Britain, they are having something called as, they don't have a written constitution. Are you aware of this? Britain, they have unwritten constitution. And when it comes to India, we are having a written constitution. Is it clear? This is one difference. And second, in case of Britain, they consider their parliament to be the supreme, and and courts also cannot have any power to invalidate the laws which are passed by which one? Parliament is passing means that is only going to stand. Courts cannot interfere. Where? In case of Britain. But India it is different. India, through the concept of judicial review, whatever laws you pass in the country, that can be questionable through the concept of judicial review by Supreme Court. Are you getting it? So these are some basic difference. But before that, let's try some introduction about this. See, in case of Britain, the parliamentary sovereignty, this approach has been inspired for a, that is for a longer period of time. Long evolutionary, it evolved, it is long and evolved over time first. But in India, it was bit very fast and sudden. Why fast and sudden? And in limited time. That is, limited time means what? Soon after India's independence, we went for implementing our constitution. But when it comes to, that is Britain, they have been having something called as, that is Magna Carta. So it is inspired from Magna Carta and then Bill of Rights. But when it comes to India, we have also have some inspiration from Bill of Rights, but that is actually implemented mostly based on features from where 1935 Constitution. So we have inspired mostly from Bill of Rights, but they have actually inspired from Magna Carta and Bill of Rights for a longer period of time. This was there, but in India we have done it in a faster manner. And third thing what you can say is, when it comes to Britain, the parliament is supreme. So go into that basic difference. Parliament is supreme. But in India it is not supreme. Why it is not supreme? See, parliament is supreme in the sense the laws made by the parliament cannot be questionable in court. So explain about that. That is, judiciary cannot, what? Judiciary cannot review the laws passed by court. The parliament can't review the laws passed by parliament, in the sense that they cannot declare it unconstitutional. Kindly understand, in that context we are saying, by declaring it as, it cannot say it is unconstitutional. But when it comes to India, judiciary is having which one? It has the power to review. It has the power to review. Then, and in case of, one more thing is, what you can write is, in case of Britain, parliamentary power is unlimited. It has unlimited power. But in India it is having limited power. Why? Which one? Fourth point, judiciary cannot review laws while, that is, by declaring it as a constitutional, which are passed by unconstitutional, it cannot do. Judiciary cannot invalidate a law which is passed by parliament. Who? In case of Britain. But in India we can do. Judiciary can interfere. Are you getting it? Yes? So parliament there is having unlimited power. And one more thing, you also talk about the nature of constitution. What is that constitution? It is having a lack of written constitution. Here we have something called as written constitution. That's why what to say, our sovereignty, it is actually, we are trying to restrict it, and it has been well defined. And one more thing is, in case of Britain, they have created a concept of unitary state. In India, we have created a federal state. So this much is enough. And write some general 1 or 2 points about similarities also. Are you getting it? Because already we have written 7 points here. For a 10-marker question, writing 7 points is more than enough. Are you getting what I am saying? So write some at least 1 or 2 points about similarities also. That is India and both they have parliament, both are having the same organs of government, and most of our futures what we follow in India has been inspired from Government of India Act 1935. Is it or not? Yes, and from Britain also we have borrowed many features of constitution, so you can talk about it while talking about the similarities. That much is enough. But the core points you should not miss. What is the basic difference? Britain, it is a parliamentary supreme. In case of India, parliament is not supreme, because judiciary has every right to interfere into the actions of parliament as well as the that is executive. Both are accountable. Is it clear? Shall we move to the next one? I have written, yes, kindly write it. Again, you will be required to study in mains classes the basic comparison of Indian constitution. So you will be coming across this concept, but try to write it now so that it's very easy for you to understand. Are you understanding? Understanding is important. Whether you are able to remember 5 points, 7 points, doesn't matter here. The core difference, if you could if you could point out in the exam, means remaining points you can build on. Are you getting? What is the core point? That is, this third point is the most important point in this question. Yes, shall we move to the next one? Fifth question. What they are asking, discuss the role of presiding officers. See here, discuss the role of presiding officers of the state legislatures in maintaining order, and then in maintaining order and impartiality, as well as in conducting legislative framework and in facilitating best practices. Is it clear? Who is presiding officer? Presiding officer is the speaker. Are you getting it? Instead of directly telling speaker, they are unnecessarily elaborating the sentence. And what is the directive used in the question? Discuss. That means what should come to your mind immediately? Way forward should be written separately. Kindly understand. And one more few things I wanted to tell you when you write discuss based question. That is, only in case of discuss question, you need to do some more value additions. First is, whenever they are asking you to talk about discuss, try to discuss the most important characteristics of the concept. Most important features or characteristics. Second one, discuss the challenges or problems in the concept. Second. Third thing is, you are trying to provide solution to the concept or problem through way forward. So these three things should be present in discuss question. What are they? The significant features or characteristics should be represented. Number two, what are the challenges in the implementation of the concept, and what is the solution or way forward to the problem? These three components should necessarily be present when the question directive is asking you to discuss. Are you getting it? And here they are again asking you to discuss the role only. See, you only see how many questions they have asked the role in the first 4 paper. Huh? Are you understanding? So many questions we have discussed, role, they have asked the role only. But most of the, why they are keeping on asking the same word is, they know very well, not even 1% of the mains candidate will address the question properly. They all will do mistake there only. They will put the subheading role, but they will not say what role it is. Are you getting it? If you are discussing something, you should tell very clearly whether that is a positive role, negative role, maximum role, minimum role. That should be mentioned. Kindly do that. Yes. Now coming here, see this question again. In the introduction, what you can talk about is, see, try to define the basic functions of speaker. Who is a speaker? He is a presiding officer of the house, and speakers are present in case of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, legislative councils, state assemblies and councils everywhere. So they have some functions. Yes, that is what they are asking. What they are asking with respect to presiding officers. So three things they are asking. What are they? First one, that is in maintaining order. In maintaining order. Second is impartiality in conducting legislative work. Impartiality Are you understanding how we are breaking the question? Why I am putting 2 or 3? Are you getting it? Because they are asking 3 things here. One is order, second is impartiality, third is facilitating democratic practice. That means what? Your answer should necessarily contain 3 subheadings in your answer. If you are not putting that 3 subheading, means examiner will misunderstand that you are not writing all the points. Even if you put 1 or 2 subheading, means he would think that he is writing only 1 or 2. If you put properly 3 subheading, he will get to know this person has understood the question in right sense. Are you getting it? That is the first impression you convey to the examiner. Yes, so impartiality in conducting legislative work. Third thing is facilitating best so these 3 subheadings should be present. Is it clear? Everyone up to this, is it clear? Now writing answer is still even more simpler after you know this. Yes? You might be watching lot of TV channels, from that also you can write for the question answer for this. Why? See, maintaining order means what? How an speaker is maintaining order, is able to maintain order. Maintaining order means what? Trying to control the house members. They do that by presiding over the house. So how they do that? By presiding. So by presiding over the house, see, the presiding member, they try to make sure, see, there is a concept called as quorum. Quorum means what? For a state assembly to function, it says that as per our constitution, there should be minimum 10% of the members who should be present. If there are 100 members in assembly, 10% means what? 10 member minimum should come to assembly. Then only assembly can function. If it is 10 members are not there, less than that means you cannot make the assembly to proceed. Being a presiding officer, you have to follow the rules of constitution and the rules of procedures of the house. Are you getting it what I am saying? So the first thing what they do is they try to maintain the order by maintaining the decor, that is quorum in the house. Yes, then how they maintain order? What are the other way? How they will try to control the members? Through rules of procedures. Rules of procedure, what it says? See, many of the times when house is functioning, have you seen? Most of the times it's Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, they become a big battle scene. Speaker, yes, speaker will be sitting and everybody will be rushing to him. They say that somebody comes near well of the house, they say. You should not cross up to that point. Then you may be thrown out of the house. Is it clear? Somebody who is not obeying the rules and procedures of the house, that is you should take the permission of the speaker to speak. You should request his permission and you should not talk derogatory manner. You should follow the principles. How you want to talk. Even you have the right to ask questions to ruling parties. You have every right to ask. So how it is done? So maintaining order is done by following the rules of procedures of house. So if somebody is not following, means they can be expelled from the house. Are you getting it? They can be suspended also. They can be suspended, those who are not following the rules of the house. So how he maintains order? First is he makes sure the minimum attendance is present, and in case if they are not dignifiedly presented in the house, if they are undignified, they are actually trying to disturb the functioning of the house, the presiding officer has every right to expel the member from the legislative assembly. Are you getting it? So that's how he maintains the order. Now coming to impartiality in conducting legislative work. How he is able to do? Impartiality means what? No biasness should be there when it comes to implementing which one? In conducting the parliamentary house. So how he is able to do that? Which one? Hmm. 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 See, what you are saying is you be like open minded, you collect what are the procedures, topics to be discussed today. Uh, Yes. So how you do? You respect the opinions of both the parties. That is basically the opposition parties. How is impartiality maintained? By exercising, that is, you are giving the option of right to speak or right to participate and speak or express opinions to whom? Opposition party members. So if you are giving that right, then you are impartially doing. But if you are doing biasly means what? Then you are not impartial. Then another way how it is done. How this impartiality is maintained. Even while suspending the member, is it or not? See, most of the times what is happening in the India is the opposition parties, when they ask genuine questions also, most of the times they are expelled from the house. Is it or not? Yes, because they see, they have the right to speak the most important socio-economic issues which are affecting the country. And most of the times when they try to raise the issue, the speaker should make sure that if the question is genuine, if the problems are genuine, he should convey to the ruling party to come out with an explanatory statement. If you don't do that, and you biasly you expel the member, means that will not lead to impartiality. It is a partiality how you function. Are you getting it? The problem with India is, one more thing is, see, usually who will be the speaker in the house? Have you seen? It will be from the ruling party only. See here, in case of India, the practice is ruling party members are actually generally appointed as speakers of the house, and they tend to favor whom? Ruling party, opposition party. From their party means they will support their party only. So he needs to be ethical value he should have. When he is conducting the presiding over the house, he should try to make sure that he does not discriminate between his party over other party. Is it clear? So only when he is doing that, then this impartiality can be guaranteed in the house. Are you getting it what I am saying? Now coming to the facilitating best democratic practices. What are the best democratic practices? Democracy means what? Opinion. Your decision, you are sharing the power, and you are whatever each and every individual's opinion he has to respect in a democratic country. That means what? How a speaker can ensure that democracy is available inside house? He should also give opportunity to speak. That is, right to express opinion to which whom? Expressing opinion to all the party members. Is it clear? Not only on crucial issue, on every issue we should give them the right to speak and question the ruling party members. If you are doing that, then democracy can be protected. Are you getting it? Second one, through also by creating various committees of parliament. Kindly write it. This is very, very important. UPSC in preliminary examination lot of times has asked a question on the various committees which are created in parliament. Most important topic when you read for prelims. So what we do, we create various committee. We have public account committee, we have estimates committee. Yes, so all these committees, what they try to do is, in that committee both the ruling party as well as opposition party will be represented, and generally there are sometimes laws which are created, and there are money where the government is spending that needs to be scrutinized, and every member in the house cannot sit and that is discuss on all these important financial matters or even the policy decisions of the rules and laws, all the small subclass that will be actually discussed where by creating various committees. These committees will consist of members from all the parties. Are you getting it? So by creating various committees in parliament, you are making sure that the procedures of the house are followed, and you are also giving opinion of all the people. You are considering the opinion of various opposition parties and even other parties in the house. Are you getting it? So that in that way you are actually protecting the democracy. Everyone is understanding how a speaker is able to encourage three things. One, he should be able to maintain order. Second, impartiality. Third is facilitating best demo. Under each point, if you could come out with two points with examples, that is more than enough to fetch more marks in the question. But make sure in the conclusion you talk about the role. What is the role here? See, discuss the role of presiding officer. You can say the presiding officer role is, in some cases, they are playing a positive role, but in most of the cases they are playing a negative or biased role, where you can quote examples from Maharashtra, various things which has happened, and various states the speaker always comes into problem. Are you getting it? This question is also picked from current affairs only, related to some Supreme Court judgment which came last year, related to speakers functioning. A judgment came, based on that they settled this question. Is it clear? Are you able to understand? Question is simple actually. Only thing is you need to relate with that various topics which are asked in the question. Now going to the next question. Sixth one, the crucial aspects of developmental aspects has been the inadequate attention paid to human resource development in India. Again, how many times this year mains examination they have asked about a single topic on human resource development. Paper 1 it came, remember? Paper 1, paper 3 also again one more question came. So, human development we have discussed in this total 4 paper so many times. It's a repetitive theme in your this year mains question. Yes, human resource development. So they are what they are asking you is, first they are telling the crucial aspects of developmental process has been inadequate attention we are paying. So first you try to comment on this. So before that, in the introduction what you can do is, don't put introduction conclusion as subheading, just write it, it's understood to the examiner. The first 3 lines are introduction, last 3 lines are conclusion. Most of the students are still writing introduction, conclusion as subheading. Don't do that. Subheading should be given only for the body of the answer. Is it clear? Now, while writing the introduction, write it in 3 lines, explain, try to define the concept of human resource development. What it is? You have studied already in your economics also. There is a difference between human development and which one? Human capital and human development. Which is giving more priority to human? Human development will give priority to individual welfare more. But in human capital, we will treat humans as intermediary. Let's not go into that. Now this is very easy question. Here, what is the main theme of the question? The theme of the question is second part. Suggest the measures that can address this inadequacy. What inadequacy? The problems related to HRD. Are you getting it? Human resource development. They are asking you to suggest. And that to suggest means what? Your opinion, expert's opinion, only that. Again, you have the liberty to write many things. Yes, so now going into the question. So what can be the subheading? Measures that can address inadequacy of human resource development. Are you getting it? What is human resource development? It is developing the individual's capabilities such as education, health, skill training. Understanding? Very simple. What measure you can do? See, when you talk about, now let's talk about one component. When it comes to education, see why in India, see human resource development is not happening. Human resource development is something related to improving the education, health, skills. Yes, capacity of an individual. Is it or not? You are improving his skills so that he is able to get the benefits of the government, and he is also getting employed somewhere. So he is able to live a better quality of life. That is the main objective in human resource development. Individual welfare is the main concern here. How an individual can live a better way? You provide a good education. Yes. So what measure you can suggest? First you try to provide access to education. Access to education means what? Still in most parts of the country, dropout is happening and people are finding it difficult to access the schools. So try to improve that. Is it clear? So still literacy rate is not 100%. So we have still some way to go to complete the coverage when it comes to literacy rate. So talk about that in access to education. Now coming to second, even with respect to education, one more thing is you need to work on the quality of education. Quality of education. What do you mean by this? See, I have quoted something, a report called as ASER report. Remember? Annual School Education Report. Which is, this is a report which is published by an NGO called as Pratham. Later in some class we will discuss about this. So here in the most of its survey, this is a survey even our government of India released. Even though an NGO is publishing this, it is considered to be very comprehensive survey when it comes to assessing the quality of education in India. What it says is most of our third standard, fifth standard students, fifth standard 2 students and even 8th standard students whom they have surveyed it in government school, most of them are actually unable to do simple addition, subtraction or to read a sentence. Where I am telling, I am talking about 5th standard, 8th standard kids in government school. So that talks a lot about quality of education which we are giving in our government school that needs to be strengthened. You can quote that. That will add value to this point. Then what are the other things we can do? Even we need to improve teachers training also. What is the problem is, see, we cannot always blame the students for the quality of education. It is also a responsibility of the teacher to improve the quality. So what we can do, we can work upon teachers. What you can do, teacher training program can be conducted. And now coming about health, what are the problems in health in India? Huh? So talk about that. Put on heading on health facility, and talk about when it comes to health. Even today also the remote unconnected regions, people who are living in villages, we need to make sure the health facilities are reaching to them. Still many of them are unable to get the benefits. So we need to improve the doctor patient ratio in India. Is it clear? You can talk about that. And you can also talk about skill development, because providing a better skill development, what we can do, we can improve the skills of the people who can be readily employed by the society, industries, so that it will lead to also which one? Employment generation. Then what are the other things you can talk? Out of pocket expenditure. That you talk here only. In this only you talk. That is, now people who are living in villages, people are affected by poverty, they generally tend to spend most of their money on purchasing essential items, that is food, as well as on spending on their health. They are spending maximum percentage of their money. So what government can do, it should try to reduce the costage. That is, it should try to provide free health facilities to these people, and it should provide quality service to the people. Are you getting it what I am saying? Yes. So these are some things which you can do. And one more thing is, you can also promote gender equality or woman empowerment. Is it or not? Why? See, now women are discriminated in assessing the school. Some of them are getting dropouts also, and child marriage is still prevalent in India. Due to this reason, we are getting problems in women's getting access to education, as well as they discontinue the education. So we should not discriminate women at school as well as at workspace. Is it clear? So that needs to be strengthened. If that is done, then the human resource development of India will improve, and overall what will happen? So the inadequacies to human development will reduce. Are you getting it? So many points. Still we can write another 10 points also. Let's not go too deep, because it's a 10 marker question. I always say that 7 to 10 points is maximum. Don't write beyond that, because in 7 points only you will be getting 3 to 4 marks, and then you have introduction, conclusion to get that extra mark. Yes. That also you can write. Infrastructure development. That is, especially infrastructure development should be provided in rural areas, hilly areas, backward areas. That is the problem here. Cities are having the best infrastructure, but unconnected regions should get that infrastructure, so that even the farmers in villages can use the road to transport the goods fastly, and it will improve its economy, its income. Is it clear? Are you understanding? Easy question again. Is it easy or not? Are you accepting? Sir, just you are telling easy, sir. We are finding it difficult. Are you thinking like that? Really, it's easy question or not? How many times we have discussed this question? In paper 1 also a question came on human resource development, and here in paper 2 also again it came. Clear? Now going to the next question. Discuss the again, see what they are asking. Rola. How many question? Roll, roll, roll. But we will not write what is that roll. Are you getting it? That is the only thing. We need to be careful. So again, it's a discuss question. That means you have to write the characteristics or important features of what is the keyword? Competitive Commission of India. You need to write about it. Basic features. Its challenges in its functioning. With respect to that context, you have to write the challenges and you have to suggest a way forward. Clear? That should be the ideal structure for this question. Now going into the main body of the answer, because introduction you can define Competitive Commission of India, what it is, that can be the introduction. Now going into the main body of the question, here they are asking you a concept called as abuse of dominant position. We'll try to understand that and then directly I will give you the answer for this. That is abuse of, kindly write it, very, 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 very important concept. Abuse of dominant position. See, what do you mean by abusing the dominant position means, this concept includes, that is, first one, lowering the prices. Second one, limiting the production. Then entry barrier. Then barriers to market access. Yes. So then predatory pricing. Then you are also trying to see what is the meaning is, see, abuse the dominant position means somebody who is a very big in the market, because since they are in the dominant position, they will try to misuse the market position by using these kind of mechanisms, and this will distort the participants of new players who wanted to participate in the market. Is it clear? If they are doing these kind of activities, then they can be punished under Competitive Commission of India for engaging in anti-competitive practices. Anti-competitive practices. Why? See, generally in India we encourage both government and private sector to compete with each other. Is it or not? That's why we say we are a mixed economy. Why we do that? After globalization, India started doing this because through competition, customers will benefit through competitive cheap price at least a better price. Now, many are misusing the market price. How? See, they are trying to lower the prices. Why they are lowering the prices means, because see, even Jio, when it came into the market, it actually offered a free internet, very less, which one? Less charge for the mobile customers who wanted to buy Jio. Now that can see that in that way, if you are creating lower prices means now you are actually making your competition to go away or not. Airtel, Vodafone, who are the other peoples are there, Aircel, whoever is there, now they cannot compete with Jio because Jio is giving a very lower price. So because of that, competition will be lost. Why? Because they are using their surplus money and they are also sitting in loss only for the first year. But to capture the market, if you lower the price beyond a particular level where it will lead to anti-competitive pricing means, then practice means it can be punishable under Competition Commission. Is it clear? Yes. And then limiting production. Here what it means is, for example, after, see, there are like for example, we will say, let's take Apple. Apple, when it is opening its factory, now you are going to a shop. Now the Apple company is saying that this year Apple, we are only trying to come out with, only in India, you can buy from Apple iPhones, only 1,000 phones are available in India. If they say like that, what will happen? Price will increase, and it will distort the market, disturb the market in case of production as well as price. That is also anti-competitive price. Now, yes. See, strategy is different. Strategy means you are just doing it because of your natural reason. But just to disturb the market, to affect your competitors, you are coming out with a policy approach means then that can be questionable in Competition Commission of India. It is up to them. All this kind of, you will have, company will have their own opinion. Why they see, they will come and say we have really some problem in production capacity. If their reason is genuine, then they may accept it. If their reason is not genuine means, then it is punishable. Is it clear? Ah. Hmm. Hmm. See, you are not actually eliminate. Your idea is to compete with the market. It's not to eliminate your competitor. If you do that, see. Mm, mm. That is, see how you are doing that. If you are able to do eliminate your competitor through coming out with a better quality product and a best price, then it is a appreciable manner. But just to eliminate your competitor, you are coming and artificially you are reducing the production, you are artificially lowering the prices, means that is bad. Are you getting it? Intentionally you do, unintentionally you do, there is a basic difference. Are you getting it? These disputes and decisions will be discussed at the Competition Commission of India. It's a final body to take decisions regarding the anti-competitive practices. It's up to them to review. I will come to that. You will understand more. I can understand what you are saying. What I am telling you is, if they do it intentionally, it is wrong. The main objective is different. What objective? What is the main objective here means? Objective is to eliminate others, not just see. And how you are bringing that elimination? Just because you are bringing outside your extra surplus money and you are trying to evade the competitor, eliminate the competitor, that is not good. Are you getting it? Hmm. 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 See, after achieving a particular dominant position in market only, you will try to engage in this activity. Starting level only, 1 year you will increase, another year you are ready, you come up with a mobile phone like Apple and you say, I am ready producing only this much, people won't even react to your company. Are you getting it? Only those who reach that status dominant position, after reaching that, they have to follow the competitive practices. They should not come and engage in just because you are, see, Facebook is a dominant. I will come to that. When I give example, you will get to know. Now coming here, entry barrier means what? You are not allowing the entry. Yes, not allowing all the people to participate in the market. You are trying to only like take the raw materials only from few people, and you are not giving opportunity to everyone to participate. That is also entry barrier. Barriers to market access means while selling in the market, you should provide them opportunity to everyone to participate in the market. You should not create any barrier. Predatory pricing means what? Predatory pricing means what? See, so much you are reducing. iPhone is now how much? iPhone 15, 2 lakhs, nearly 2 lakhs they are saying now the new price. At least 1.8 lakh to 2 lakhs in India. Now, predatory pricing is just the opposite. Here what you do, your value of the product is so much. But you are just keeping it very low. So let's take 10,000 or 5,000, you keep it. So this concept is referred as predatory pricing, and it is also done to eliminate the competitor. Is it clear? But here it is coming out with discount you can, but how much? See, that is why this is they have asked in the exam. Now through discounts and offers, how much can you give and whether you are doing it in a competitive price? Are you getting it? Yes, see, limits in the sense that it should not abuse the market competition. Now, which one Flipkart is doing, Amazon Big Bill Sale is coming, is it or not? But while doing that kind of market operation, you should not disturb the normal functioning of the competitive practices. In that way, if you do that, and your intention is only to eliminate others, then that is wrong and that can be punishable under this. Now, coming to this question, here they are asking you, discuss the role of Competitive Commission of India in containing the that is abuse of dominant position by the MNCs. Here, you say that it is playing a very positive role, and try to describe the what is the abuse of dominant position concept in simple lines, and say that through a Competition Commission of India, through various functions, it is trying to play a positive role in preventing what is that anti-competitive practices in India. Is it clear? And recent decisions, this is important. So right here, Google, and then Facebook. What are the other? They are there. Google, Facebook, then Amazon, and then fourth one, Qualcomm. Write it. I will give you examples. In these four companies, they have engaged in anti-competitive practices. That is Google in the year 2020, Facebook also 2020, Amazon in 2019, and Qualcomm also very recently. What they did is, that is Google, when it is trying to sell its, where it has done this anti-competitive practices while selling its Android TV. It has engaged in anti-competitive practices, and it has been now, the case has been dealt under Competitive Commission of India. Facebook, through its WhatsApp service, that is WhatsApp, it is trying to integrate its WhatsApp with its social media. What is that? Facebook. So that is actually abusing the dominant position compared to others. So in that way, it is creating inequality, and now this case is also in the Competitive Commission. And Amazon, what it has done is, see, in Amazon, sellers can come from multiple ways, right? So what happened is, in Amazon platform, some of the sellers are actually not given entry to participate in selling practices, and that has been reported in the Competitive Commission of India. Why? Because there is which barrier? Entry barrier. Qualcomm, this is with respect to chip making in mobiles. So this company is engaging that, and it has also faced this anti-competitive practices. That is, it has also engaged in that anti-competitive practices. So you can quote this as example, which has happened in India in the last 2-3 years. That is what they are asking. So just mention about them. But the main thing is, you need to define Competitive Commission as well as abuse of dominant position, and what role they are able to do. That is a positive role, you can say, because we are able to check the even big tech giant companies, Google, that is Google, Facebook, Amazon, all are big tech companies, and if we could interfere in their functioning, means that conveys that Competitive Commission of India is very vigilant in its functioning. That's why I said, try to say it is a positive role it is playing in the, that is addressing the anti-competitive practices. Are you getting idea? Yes? Eighth question. Again, this question is also a reflection from paper 3. In paper 3, there was a question, if you remember, I discussed about a question called as status of digitalization in India. Remember? Paper 1 also, again, one thing related to this also came. But paper 3, I remember, digitalization question. Remember? Yes? Same. They have asked in another manner, that's all. What are the, see the question, read the question. You only can give me more points actually. That much easy this question. What they are telling, e-governance as a critical tool of governance has ushered in effectiveness, transparency and accountability. We know that when digital technology comes, governance will improve, because governance basic parameter is transparency, accountability, responsibility. That is what they are giving now. Yes, so it has improved it, that we know. Now coming to the second one, but what are the inadequacies which are actually hampering the enhancement of this feature? They are asking you what are the problems in challenges which are faced in the implementation of e-governance scheme. That's all. Are you getting it? Are you understanding the question? Yes? So tell me now, what are the challenges we are facing? With respect to e-governance, what is the challenge? Forget it. I said there is a digital divide in India. Remember? What is digital divide? There is a divide which is happening between rural and urban areas. Urban areas are having more access to digital technology like internet, mobile phones. But when it comes to rural areas, they have less coverage, less awareness. Yes. So because of that, there is a divide which is there, like poverty between rich and poor. Digitally also there is a divide between rural and urban areas. That is one challenge. Because of that, we are unable to penetrate into the rural areas with e-governance initiatives where public can participate. Then we need to improve the digital literacy. That is digital illiteracy. It is more in our country. Is it or not? What is digital illiteracy? People should make aware how to use smartphone, how to use laptop, how to use latest, download any app, how to use the government portal. This basic awareness of using a technology is actually missing where in the rural and unconnected segments of India. So we need to work on that. Then what are the other problems in e-governance? Cyber security issues there are. Huh? Cyber security issue, yes, lack of infrastructure. What infrastructure? Mobile towers. And even when you see, the one is providing internet connectivity. We are also trying to do internet connectivity. What is that BharatNet scheme? Remember? But connecting the villages through digitally. We are trying to connect most of the village panchayats in the country through the first phase, through that. But still it's a way to go, miles to go. The infrastructure which is available in our country, digital infrastructure, needs to be improved. In where it needs to be improved, remote, unconnected, backward regions of the country. Kindly mention that. Because cities are having better infrastructure. Yes? Now, what are the other things? Privacy concerns is there. Privacy concern. What is privacy concern? Schemes like Aadhaar, where we are already having digital e-governance initiative, there is a problem of data leakage. The individual's information about his, what are the important crucial informations, they are actually now leaked into public domain. So that is actually creating privacy concern for individual, because in India, right to privacy is considered to be fundamental right under Article 21. Kindly remember that. Then there is also problem of interoperability. What is the meaning is, see, even when you talk about government departments, they also don't have the better technology. They don't have the better technology in providing service to the people. Most of them are actually sitting with outdated technology. So to implement the latest digital technologies, they also should have better technology with them, better laptop, better computer connection, better internet, better app. Everything should be promoted. Still, it is a miles to go here. So government is also facing problem here. So can you talk about all this? Yes? Easy, huh? Do you require any PhD to answer this question? Huh? Some of the students will do PhD. Yes? That is not the requirement in UPSC exam. If you want to earn a degree, you can always do in your life. That is for your personal growth. But if you want to clear UPSC exam, try to rely on what you know 100% thoroughly. Is it clear? And develop a common sense. That is enough to answer this question. Really, most of the questions, whatever we have discussed till now, it requires only some questions you need to be aware. Like that abuse of dominant position, you need to know technically. But some of the questions and all you can answer very easily with a general reading of NCERTs only. Clear? Now going into the 9th question. So what is this question? Virus of conflict is affecting the functioning of SEO. In the light of above statement, point out the role of India in mitigating problem. How many role only they will ask, I don't know. Every question they are asking role only. Are you understanding? Because they know very well. Nobody is going to write. So nobody is able to address the question 100%. Only few persons will be understanding it correctly and address it correctly. So let's keep with this theme only. That's why they came out with so many themes, role only. Are you getting it? Yes. So now going into the question, this topic, even while we are we did have one video before this year mains examination, some tips for students. There also we have predicted this topic. In IR, we expected 4 organizations, one question will come. Only 4 we gave. One is G20 we said, BRICS we said, and then G20, BRICS, And what are the Asian Summit? Another is SEO. 4 topics, kindly revise and go, we told to our students who did the mains program with us, right? In that one topic came directly. So it was SEO. It came directly. Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Well, in GS class we have not covered SEO. Sorry, not GS, current affairs. In the initial classes we have not touched. We have covered, no? That TUK, we have said a code word TUK, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, we have covered, yes, we'll do again. Kindly, that's the reason we are asking you to, attend the current affairs classes also. But today's generation, our students want only, spoon feeding. Sir, who will attend 2-3 hours class to answer one SEO question? You just 5 minutes you give me some 5 points you give, ready-made guide. I will read that and go. That is the approach. See, if you are having that, if you want to look for shortcuts in life, UPSC exam will look very difficult for you. Kindly don't search for shortcuts here. Because even we have done that. That's why we are coming and speaking before you. Whoever we have seen, who are doing this, whoever searching for shortcut, no, all the shortcuts route will be actually really very lengthier than the direct route. So I always advise go with the direct approach. You can be smart. Smart does not mean that you always expect everything in a guide manner. Is it clear? Don't expect that. UPSC expects you to have awareness on all important socio-economic issues. Now coming this SEO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, it is a it is in one way it is considered to be an organization which is having anti-West strategy, anti-NATO strategy, or it is formed in parallelism to NATO, to counter NATO, because in SEO we have something called as RATS. This is like a security purpose. So it is a security function which is attached to it. In that way it is different from other international organization. So they are comparing this organization with which one? With NATO. So it is also called as, SEO is fondly also called as NATO of the East. Is it clear? NATO means what? In current affairs class we will discuss. This is not the platform to discuss North Atlantic Treaty Organization. We will cover about that. I am waiting. Any important issues which should come in newspaper, that time we will take it. We are always waiting for hot burning issues only, which will be relevant for UPSC exam. In our current affairs class we will do that. Now coming here, see this SEO, most of its members consist of Central Asian countries. Who are they? Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan. Along with that we also have countries like Iran. Iran is observer. Iran has become an official member now. Iran has become from an observer it has become an official member this year, I think. That's why they asked this question. This year SEO was also important. And along with that India and China are members of this. Now SEO consists of 9 members. Kindly remember that. More than that not required. It's formed in 2001. It's a security based organization and it also discusses the most important economic aspects also. Clear? Now going into this organization, there is so much virus of conflict which is affecting them. So this is first part. And then they are asking you, in the light of the statement, point out the role of India in mitigating the problem. Are you getting it? Everyone? There are 2 components in the question. Yes? You observed? 2 subheading should be there. Give me the subheading. Fadafat. First one is virus of conflict affecting SEO. Second subheading, virus of conflict affecting SEO function. See, just for my fastness, I am writing F1. Kindly don't come and write abbreviated words in your answer. Many of them are writing government means GOVT and then GOI. Don't do that kind of activities. UPSC has having a concept called as, one is penalty of negative marks, which is generally awarded to candidates. Nowadays, many genuine, hardworking candidates are getting negative marks because of lack of awareness about all these things. Don't use abbreviated word. Don't write anything outside the margin. Diagrams whenever you draw, it should have a proper title and its parts. Some basic rules you should follow. And there is also a concept of scaling. Have you heard? In another separate video, we are planning to come out with the concept of scaling. We'll do separately. That is like a UPSC tries to rationalize the optional marks in mains examination. In our answer writing workshop, some of you would have attended. Anybody? No one in this class. Answer writing workshop which we conducted for Siksha. Yes, you attended. There we have discussed the scaling concept. You remember? You forgot it. 2 batches, 2 rounds of workshop we had. Okay, we'll do that. It's not a very any instant concept to discuss. Very easy thing. We'll do later. Now coming here, first topic. Second topic is role of India in mitigating problems. Yes, see now within SCO we are having various problems. See, any international organization, it should have proper cooperation among its members to function. But when it comes to SCO, the members here itself, they are having varieties of problem, conflict. Because of that, it is affecting the functioning of SCO. Are you getting it? This is the question. So what are that conflict? We have, see, even we have Pakistan also as member here. I forgot to say, we have, that is India, Pakistan, and then China, and then Iran, and then we have 5 Central Asian countries. Who are they? Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan. So totally 9 members. Is it clear? Iran is the new addition this year. Till last year it was just a member, observer, not a member, observer. Now this year they have become official member. Chances of UPSC asking you again in prelims is more on SCO. Is it clear? So we'll try to cover later in current affairs class. Now, what are the various conflicts which are happening between these countries? See, first is we have India, Indo-China conflict. What is that? What is that Indo-China conflict? LAC problem is there or not? India, Pakistan conflict is there? Yes. Then we also have problems with respect to, that is Russia, China. That is, they don't have any big problem, only small problem when it comes to Central Asia. In assessing Central Asia, because Central Asia is rich in oil and gas, and many of the Central Asian countries are members of, what happened? Tired? That's all. One more question. We'll finish off. Feeling exhausted? Huh? This subject is like that. I can't help. I am here to give an answer writing approach to polity. I am not a polity teacher. It's a burden of the polity teacher to make your subject interesting. But it's a good subject actually, because knowing all the basic concepts, geography, economy, science and tech, if you don't know what are the laws and constitutional principles in India, we are not going to serve any purpose. Are you getting it? In that way, it is a very valuable subject. Are you getting it? It will come. Interest will come on this subject slowly only, because it is a raw subject. Most of these are like, you cannot directly connect. If I say monsoon or rain, you will experience it, because every day it's raining. Sir, rain is coming, I could relate, sir. But polity, what we can say? Are you seeing speaker? If I say in TV, you would have seen means also, you are not connecting. Anyway, coming here. So what are the other problems? So we have problems within the Central Asian countries, which are actually affecting the functioning of which one? That is SCO. One more you can also write about Iran-Pakistan conflict. Because Iran is a Shia country and Pakistan is a Sunni Muslim country. So we know Muslims, they have 2 categories, remember, Shia group and Sunni group. And based on that, we have took one current affairs class also. Yes, with respect to Israel, I discussed, Israel-Palestine issue. I did not go too deeply, but I gave you an outline. We'll do Israel-Palestine issue still. We are waiting for some time. Hamas to attack or something to happen so that it comes in newspaper and we get an opportunity to discuss. Everything will happen. Everything is happening. I am not predicting the events. This is what is happening in newspaper last 3-4 years or 10 years. No surprise in that. Yes. So you can talk about the various conflicts in the first part and try to don't overwrite too much. Just mention in 1 or 2 lines about the conflict. With respect to China, the problem is with Leh Ladakh and as well as China claiming regions over Arunachal Pradesh as southern Tibet, which is creating dispute with China. Because of that, we are finding it difficult to speak with China even during the functioning. SCO, when the members are meeting, we are unable to coordinate effectively because we are having differences within us. Yes, so Pakistan we have difference with Kashmir problem. So talk about that. Now coming to second one, what they are asking is, in the light of the above statement, point out the role of India in mitigating the problem. Which problem? Functioning problem. What India can do? What do you do? What do you expect India to do in this organization? Tell me. Be practical. You can give various answer. That is what it can do: mediation, then conflict resolution mechanism, conflict resolution mechanism, try to do more economic cooperation, then try to do more cultural exchanges, then anything? What they are telling is there is difference of opinion, and they are asking you to point out what can India do or what India is doing when it comes to sorting out the differences. How we can improve? See, we always have difference of opinion with Pakistan also, with China also, but still we are doing trade with them or not. So through better trade, what India believes is our relationship will improve. In particular, we can also promote more people-to-people contact. What is the meaning? That is people of both the countries or people of these countries. Suppose to promote better India-Pakistan relation, India tries to promote more trade activities along the Attari-Waha border. Where it is? Punjab. Attari-Waha border. Now people of both the countries, so in this point what they do, Indians and Pakistani people, they trade among themselves. So they get to connect with them when they engage in trade. So through that connection, we can establish a goodwill among the people of both the countries. If people are enjoying a goodwill, then naturally the presiding, who is the president or prime minister who is presiding, so they will also come in sync, or the foreign policy of these countries will come in sync, and differences will come down. Are you getting it? So you can talk about these 5 things. What India is doing. India is trying to do mediating role. We are also trying solution mechanism within the SCO meeting, so that they sit together there and assemble and try to speak what is the problem, what we can do better. That is also we are doing, and we are mediating with other countries' problem. We are actually promoting more economic trade between the countries, people to people, cultural exchanges like our festivals, whatever, that should be celebrated, recognized. So even those countries' cultural things, values should be respected by India. So that will promote the goodwill of both the countries, and that will improve the functioning of SCO. Is it clear? Are you getting it? Answer is easy. They have nowhere, even though the question is current affairs question, but content for the answer, it can be picked from where? From whatever you have been following from newspaper for long time. Is it clear? Yes. Coming to this last question today, that is Indian diaspora. We have also asked one question, no? Current affairs class. Forgot India-Canada relation. While taking it, I said UPSC will not ask about India-Canada relation discuss. That is nowhere going to come. I will write on a bond paper and give it to you. Pakka they will not ask such an answer question, because it is not part of your UPSC syllabus. They will ask you the role of Indian diaspora in shaping India-Canada relation. That's the reason you check here. Go to your syllabus if you want more clarity or evidence from my side, because this generation, everybody wants evidence. We say with evidence only people are trusting. Go to the syllabus. What is there? In GS paper 2, India and its neighboring country. Huh? So neighboring country only UPSC will ask. If you doubt yourself or doubt what we say, go and check 2013 to 23 paper. See how many neighboring countries has been asked in the past. Who are the neighboring countries? Nepal, Bhutan, Pakistan, Afghanistan, China, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Maldives. These are the countries you should give first priority in your newspaper when you read international relation. Next comes the other countries. Sir, that means we should not read other countries. Yes, you should read. They will ask. In prelims, they will ask. Is it clear? Are you getting it? There is a manner how UPSC ask you international question, and even if they want to ask you about Canada in your mains means, see that role of diaspora, what is the topic in syllabus? Role of Indian diaspora. In that component they can ask you in India-Canada relation. Is it clear? That is the reason they already asked this question. Again, chances of you asking next year is going to be very less. So in prelims we can expect questions on Khalistan movement. That's the one area left out. Is it clear? But since everyone is now aware of Khalistan movement, UPSC will not ask you that question. Yes, they know very well. You all people have read that. So they will not ask you. They know more about you than you know about UPSC. They keep observing you. Is it clear? So you should also have some idea about how UPSC thinks. That is when we will able to predict the question, or we will be able to answer the question better. Now for this question, what they are asking is, Indian diaspora has scaled up heights in the West. Discuss its economical and political benefit. Yes, introduction, what you can write. The Indian diaspora, who are Indian diaspora and how they are performing. Which are the countries? Canada, USA, Mexico, South America also we are not leaving actually. Parts of Indians are working in Africa as well as Europe. But talk about only Western countries, don't talk about Africa. Talk about maximum about North America, South America or European countries. Don't touch Africa. Are you getting it? Yes, in the introduction. Now going into the subheading, there can be only two subheadings which can be given. One is which one? Economic benefits. Economic benefits of Indian, which one? Diaspora. Yes. Second one, political benefits of Indian diaspora. Are you getting it? How much direct and easy question? What this diaspora people are, what they are going to do economically, they can, first thing you know very well, in our economic class we have repeatedly discussed under balance of payment component. One important thing why this still our Indians who are working for in other countries are important is, which current account they will take care or capital account? Which is that? Remittances, remember? Yes, don't forget it. Many of you last time said it's capital account. Kindly remember, it comes under current account only. FDI, FII and external loans which you take from other countries only will be covered under capital account. Clear? Yes. Now going into this, the first benefit can be in the form of remittances. Then what are the other economic benefits? See, they also helps in investment. Why? Because some of them actually try to invest the money in India also in various government, sovereign government bonds, government securities. Yes. And third, they also, that is they get economic benefit is technology and innovation. What is the technology and innovation? Because most of them work in IT sector, they get aware of the latest technologies and innovation, and that can also benefit India also. Is it clear? Yes. Then what are the other benefits? Tourism. Yes. So tourism. Then apart from that, yes, this much is enough. Try to give maximum explanation to that. Try to draw diagram. Is it clear? What diagram you can draw? Try to draw world map directly, that's all. But try to draw a very small diagram. Most of you, if we say to ask draw diagram means, they will, sir, 2 page we have, I don't have content, sir. So I have drawn one big India map or world map for 1 page, sir. Another page I have written the same question 5 times the lines and came, sir. Don't do that kind of activity, because the person who is evaluating your paper is not a school teacher. Is it clear? Minimum he will be having at least a PG degree in that subject, or sometimes he might hold a PhD also in your subject. When he is evaluating you, he knows more than you. You should accept it. So don't try to fool the examiner. Clear? If you know, write it directly. If you don't know, try to manage slightly better. Don't write irrelevant things. Now coming to political benefit, what are the political benefits we get out of them? See, most of them are actually MPs and MLAs. For that matter, even while I discussed this, that is Canada relation also, we said that most of the 6 people, they have become ministers in which one? Canadian government under Justin Trudeau, many of them are 6 are ministers and they have a vote bank of 3% in Canadian population. Why is Canadian president supporting them? 6, because elections are going to come. He cannot counter, he cannot take a stand against 6 because he needs their support to win the election. Is it clear? Yes? Huh? Rishi Sunak, yes, and the USA, you forgot it, our vice president, who is that Kamala Harris. She is also Indian origin. Are you getting it? So talk about those personalities also. That is, we have personalities who are in high position in where? In case of Canada, USA, and as well as in Britain. Clear? In addition to that. So what is the political benefit is, it will have impact on our policies. That is economic policies. Second, it will have impact on our visa clearance policy, visa or immigration policy, because they are playing a positive role. But the recent incident in Canada, it may create a negative role also, because Canada may, if they think like tightening the Indians' entry means, then that will create problem. Is it clear? But they are unlikely to do, I feel. Why? Because they are not going to come up with India in this particular issue. They say that the involvement of Ra hand very strongly in this issue. So it needs to be investigated. Ra is involved or not, that is secondary. But primarily you should not stand with any terrorist organization. Being a sovereign country, Canada should not take that stand. Clear? So they help in our economic policy negotiations. They help in our visa or immigration policies related to that. What are the other political benefits we get out of them? International, very good. That is, international relations can be, see, for example, even Britain and India have varieties of differences in implementing trade policy. Now with the coming up of Rishi Sunak, our Modi ji can come and talk with him. Hey, Bhaiya, kindly help us, what you can do. Yes, he can request it, right? Because he is an Indian citizen, and when he came to India, he actually is from Bengaluru. Yes, his wife is from Bengaluru, right? So he actually took pictures where he shared eating Indian food, Indian culture, worshipping Indian gods. So that makes he is able to connect with Indian people. Now people of India, they connect with Rishi Sunak very easily compared to other prime ministers of Britain. So in that way, at least a goodwill is prevailing between, even though in practically nothing has happened on trade policy. But we are expecting something good can happen when our Indian diaspora is in that position. Yes? So what is it? Free trade agreement. But another one is, yes, those are small things, but for long time India is asking more trade opportunity. Some trade deal is going on. Apart from this, still it's in waiting. So what is that? Indian, what is that you said? Indian policies, international relations. So this much is enough. How many points you have written? For a 10 marker, 7 points is more than enough, because you need to write introduction, conclusion, you need to draw diagram, you need to give examples. So 2 page only you have. So to be practical, no need to write beyond this. Since you can write 100 points also, that is not the requirement. Try to talk only the core points related to Western countries. Don't talk irrelevant other countries. Clear? Is it easy? Paper 2 is, I feel, comparatively easy when we compare to other papers. Ethics was always like, ethics will have the same standard. But GS paper 2 this year, I feel, the first 10 questions can be managed with a layman knowledge also. That's why they say, what is the demand they expect from you is, they expect you to have not a subject specialization. Remember, when we talked about UPSC notification, we also made some video, answer writing workshop. It's available in our YouTube. You can watch that also, where we talked about what is the UPSC expecting from you regarding answer writing. We have done for Parishram and Sadhana students, we have done that in our classes. Yes, fine. So we'll meet tomorrow. Any doubts you have? Any feedbacks, any comments? Yes, do you want me to do still faster? Yes, I think today we have improved the speed. Yes, so tomorrow our paper 2 will be over, And we are also planning to do essay paper discussion also. Kindly don't miss essay paper. Huh? Ravinandan sir, Ravinandan sir is coming means we should feel very happy. Yes, because he will share his really very practicable experience when it comes to essay writing. So even I look for that session. We'll see how we can do. But paper 2 tomorrow I will do. Is it clear? So we'll try to end up the 4 paper discussion by tomorrow. Thank you then.